Every week I get correspondence, whether it's text messages, emails, notes from people at church asking questions about God, faith, how to follow Jesus. And I received one this last week that was pretty interesting, and it's in reference to the video that we had done before on why we are the church. And the question was pretty succinct. It just says, how can I live on mission? And I love this question because it's not asking, how do I read my Bible? We corresponded back and forth. Hey, I know how to read my Bible and pray. I need to know how to give my faith away, how to help other people. And to be able to do that, we need to hop over into the Bible, into the book of Romans. It's in the New Testament of the Bible. It's written by this guy named Paul. He's an early church planter, which basically means he went around starting churches. And as he would leave churches to go start a new one, he would write letters back, encouraging the believers there, challenging them on things that maybe he had heard had been going not that great. And he writes back to the believers at Rome about the mission, how to live on mission. Because even today, back then and today, there are believers that they love Jesus. They go to church, they give to the local church, they maybe even serve inside the church. But their faith is private. It's my thing. Don't ask me about it. I don't need to share it. And they don't actually give their faith away. At Forefront, our mission is people helping people to find and follow Jesus. It's an active participation in going out and sharing love and hope with other people, and not with Christians. We want to care for Christians and love people from other churches, but our goal isn't to get other Christians to come to our church. That's not the mission. That's actually the opposite of the mission. That doesn't do any good for anyone. Our mission is to go and see people, we would say, that are unchurched, that have never been to church before, or people who are de-churched. They loved God, when they were younger or during their teen years or maybe even adult years, but they become very disillusioned with maybe God, faith, what the local church did to them or, didn't do. And I totally get it because everybody falls short on this earth, makes mistakes, not God, but us. And churches do that, Christians do that. And so we go out and find people who are unchurched, who are de-churched, and say, hey, there is a better and loving way to live, and God has a better story for you. And this is what Paul is writing to the believers at Rome about, and it's over in Romans chapter 10. He shares this with them. It says, but how can people call for help if they do not know who to trust? And how can they know who to trust if they haven't heard of the one who can be trusted? And how can they hear if nobody tells them? And how is anyone going to tell them unless someone is sent to do it? How wonderful are the ones who show them the way home to good news. That's really about you and me. That's about saying, all right, if you follow Jesus, if you claim faith, call yourself a Christian, you trust in him, then your role, on top of your own spiritual formation, your own daily rhythms of reading the Bible, praying, engaging with the local church, serving within the church, serving in your community, being on mission means that you and I go out. We're mandated, commanded to go out and share our faith with people. It's not a private thing, it's a very public thing. And not in a people or projects kind of way, but we care about every person because every person matters to God. So Paul's saying, listen, how can they hear unless somebody goes out and says, you're loved. Hey, God loves you. My church loves you. You need to come. Come and see, come and live. Look at what it means to find and follow Jesus. I promise your life will be changed forever. And so you have, I bet, at least one person who fits that. They're either unchurched or they're de-churched. Not your church friend from another church, not that person that you guys get together and talk about God. Nope, that person that they've never been to church before, or they went to church years ago, engaged with faith, but they're not about it really anymore. All right, you got that person in your mind? We're gonna do two things for the next minute. I want you to take 60 seconds. There's gonna be a timer in a little bit right here. Take 60 seconds and pray for that person, that God would begin to move in their heart, that God would give you an opportunity to invite them to be a part of the local church and to hear and see that God loves them. You take time to pray for them and your opportunities with them, and I am going to pray for you. All right? 60 seconds. Here we go. Amen. You know, I am so thankful that you took some time, 60 seconds, 1 minute for one person. See, because they're not just a person, they have a soul, they were made unique, made in the image of God. And so now, we don't just pray about it, we now take action. And so you have the next week to be able to share that God loves them, to be able to share and invite them to be a part of the local church, and then to bring them with you, to sit with them, to engage in what God has for them, and watch their story changed by you living on mission. That is why we are the church, because we exist to help bring people to the love and grace of Jesus, and then they, as they begin to follow him, go out and live on mission too. And so I'm praying for you this week that you will do what God has commanded you, that you will experience the miraculous as God works on their heart and begins to change them, not as a person that's a project, but a person that is loved by God. Love you guys, and I cannot wait to see what God has in store for the people that you're praying for and bringing to faith.